light as a feather. Yet no man can hold it long.
What am I?
What am I? These are not just words. This is a riddle, a question asked not for laughter,
What am I?
but for judgment. In the wrong hands, a riddle becomes a weapon, one that measures intelligence, tests worthiness, and punishes failure. This riddle ties together two men. One is fictional.
My name is Edward Nygma.
Edward Nygma, Gotham's criminal mastermind known as
I'm the Riddler.
the Riddler. The other is very real,
not in any way interfere with the investigations.
a 26-year-old Kenyan named Seth Mwabe. But how do their paths cross? How does the obsession of a comic book villain mirror the life of a young man from Meru? This is not a coincidence. This is the story of riddles, hacking, and 11 million shillings stolen from one of Kenya's largest betting firms. Welcome to Lifelens TV Investigates.
On August 30th, 2025, detectives from the DCI's Banking Fraud Investigations Unit stormed a quiet residence in Tetu City, Kiambu County. Their target: Seth, the man accused of hacking into a leading Kenyan betting company and siphoning off 11.4 million shillings. But who is Seth? Born August 18th, 1999, Seth was once a promising IT student at Meru University. Many believe he dropped out, but the truth is far darker. He was expelled. Why? Because Seth did what he knew best: hacking. He breached Meru University's systems, infiltrated the school fees records, and altered them to show his name among fully paid students. The fraud was discovered, and Seth was thrown out. But by expelling him, the university made a grave mistake. They did not neutralize him. They released him, like setting loose an angry lion, a genius armed with dangerous skills and no place left to go. His record spread across campuses, and no other university dared admit him. Cornered and rejected, Seth turned his talent into a weapon. To friends, Seth could be generous. To institutions, he was lethal. In early 2024, he set his sights on a financial cooperative, a SACCO. Its owner, Pastor David Gakuyo. The story of Gakuyo and the Akiza SACCO scandal is infamous. In 2018, over 1 billion shillings vanished, defrauding thousands of ordinary Kenyans, mostly women. Their life savings disappeared into the pockets of a man they trusted. By 2023, their cries filled the air. Justice delayed is justice denied. And for Seth, this was personal. Among the victims was his own aunt. Anger mixed with brilliance. Seth Mwabe moved. He breached Akiza SACCO's internal systems, drilling through firewalls until he reached the financial core. There, he uncovered a paper trail of deceit. Transactions diverting funds from members' accounts straight into 12 personal and real estate-linked accounts tied to Pastor Gakuyo. For years, Gakuyo denied everything. But Seth's evidence was undeniable. He compiled the records, printed them, and through his aunt, placed them in the hands of one of Kenya's most respected legal minds.
Come up with a judgment.
Senior counsel Dr. John Kaminwa. Dr. Kaminwa applied to the High Court to have Seth's aunt, a direct victim, enjoined as an interested party. More importantly, he sought to introduce Seth's explosive evidence.
Paying the amount that...
The defense objected, crying foul. The data was stolen, hacked, illegally obtained.
If you do so...
But Kaminwa argued otherwise. The court's duty is to find the truth, and truth cannot be ignored because of the path it took.
The respondents are to file and serve.
The judge agreed. Justice, he said, cannot be sacrificed at the altar of technicalities. The evidence was admitted.
their reply within 7 days from today.
Yet the judge also delivered a sharp warning to Seth. You cannot commit a crime to punish another crime. Two wrongs do not make justice. Still, the weight of the revelations tipped the scales.
They say I cannot leave the country. I am in the JKIA.
In February 2024, as Gakuyo attempted to flee to Zambia, DCI officers intercepted him at JKIA. The once untouchable pastor was finally in chains. Cornered by evidence, Gakuyo pledged to repay. By mid-2024, over 800 million shillings had been returned. In cash, in parcels of land, even in vehicles. For thousands of victims, long-delayed justice had finally arrived. And at the center of it all was Seth Mwabe, the shadowy figure who forced open a case that had stalled for 6 years. Seth Mwabe had tasted power. He had humbled a giant. He had bent the justice system with nothing but a laptop and his genius. The easiest way to trick the human mind is not with force, but with trust. For years, Kenyans had been seduced by the flashing lights of online betting. Slick adverts promised quick wins. The game that stood out above all? Aviator. At first glance, Aviator seemed harmless. A digital plane that soars higher as your winnings multiply. But behind the thrill lay a cruel design. The longer you played, the more you lost. Salaries vanished in seconds. A student poured in 200,000 shillings meant for school fees and watched it disappear into thin air. Mothers wept. Some victims even attempted suicide. The backlash grew. Bloggers like Cyprian Nyakundi amplified the cries, posting videos of women broken by debt, young men robbed of their future. The outrage was so loud that the Kenyan government finally moved. It banned all gambling advertisements, citing the dangerous wave of despair sweeping the nation. But the government wasn't the only force watching. In the shadows, another group was also angry. Hackers, not the pranksters of old, but skilled operators who had already breached the DCI's Twitter account, hijacked Tanzanian platforms, and posted damning messages to prove a point. On April 28th, these hackers issued a chilling warning. We will hack every betting company in Kenya and teach them a lesson. 4 months later, their prophecy came true.
They established that the fraud was done through bypassing the payment service provider systems, security systems, and they succeeded to defraud the complainant or the company of the 11.4 million.
One of the giants fell. The target was Betika, and at the center of the breach stood one man, Seth Mwabe. To understand Seth's hack, you must first understand how betting companies operate. At the surface are customer care agents, the voices who answer your call when you say, "My withdrawal hasn't reflected." They can only check simple dashboards, confirm balances, and forward serious issues. But behind them are the real gatekeepers. The administrators. These admins hold the master switches. They can manually credit funds, reverse transactions, override withdrawals, and fix errors in the system. Their word is law, and their login is gold. It was this golden key Seth Mwabe wanted, and he knew exactly where to find it. Seth began quietly, the way a hunter studies his prey. He scraped staff names from Facebook. He scanned job titles on LinkedIn. He even copied writing styles from old interviews. And then there it was, a LinkedIn profile. A single line that revealed everything. Administrator at Betika. We'll call him JB. To most people, JB was just a name. But to Seth, JB was the door to the vault. Seth crafted his trap with surgical precision. He built a fake login page, a pixel-perfect clone of Betica's real administrator portal. Same colors, same layout, same security padlock, but the real genius was in the domain name. Instead of www.betica.co.ke, Seth registered www.betica.co.ke. At first glance, it looked identical, but here's the trick. The I in Betica was swapped with a capital I. Our eyes don't see shapes, they see words. And JB, like most of us, never noticed the difference. This type of deception has a name, typo squatting, or in cybersecurity terms, a homograph attack. It's the art of fooling the brain into reading what it wants to see. The fake site alone wasn't enough. Seth needed JB to walk through the door, so he wrote an email that looked like it came straight from Betica's IT department. We have detected unusual login attempts on your administrator account. For your security, please verify your credentials immediately. Failure to do so within 24 hours will result in suspension of access. Verify admin login. It looked urgent. It looked official. And when JB clicked the link, he landed on Seth's fake page. Trusting the Betica domain, he typed in his username and password. At that very moment, Seth's server captured the details. The vault was open. When Seth logged in with JB's stolen credentials, he bypassed the front lines. He wasn't just another customer anymore. He was inside the admin dashboard. And this was no ordinary screen. It was God mode. Balances, overrides, ledger adjustments. Every tool designed to fix customer errors now bent to the will of a single intruder. He checked his own betting account. The balance, 7 shillings, a cruel reminder of where he stood. Then, with a few keystrokes, he issued a command the system was programmed to obey. Credit 11,400,000 shillings. In seconds, the balance leapt from 7 bob to millions. But here's the trick. In betting, those numbers on your screen aren't real money. They're entries in a ledger system, a record of what the company owes you. Only when you hit withdraw does the system trigger a command to Safaricom's M-Pesa or a partner bank. That's when digital numbers turn into real cash. Seth understood this perfectly. He also knew the rules. Withdrawals above 140,000 shillings a day raise alarms. Anything beyond $1 million must be cleared through banks. So he split the jackpot. 11 different accounts, 11 different bank links, each one trickling money out under the radar, and because he was logged in as JB, every move looked legitimate. The system didn't see Seth Mwabe, expelled student from Meru. It saw a trusted administrator doing administrator things. Click, approve, withdraw. The system answered every command with one word, yes. From 7 shillings to 11.4 million, in minutes. No alarms, no alerts, no suspicion. Because Seth Mwabe didn't break the system, he became the system. For Seth, this was not just theft. It was a demonstration, a riddle come to life. How do you steal millions in plain sight without anyone noticing? His answer, don't act like a thief. Act like the one in charge. By the time Seth Mwabe had secured his place inside Betica's system, the hardest part was done. The vault was open. The question now was simple. How do you walk away with 11.4 million shillings without anyone noticing? Seth was no fool. He knew that if he dropped the entire 11.4 million into a single account, alarms would blare instantly. The finance team would see it, regulators would sniff it, and the entire operation would crumble before it even began. So he played it smart. Remember, every balance in a betting account must have a story. Either it came from a deposit, or it came from a win. And if you want to stay invisible, you must make the system tell that story for you. Seth's genius was in manipulation. He didn't just credit the accounts with money. He made the system believe the money had been won. He rewrote digital records to show that his accounts had been playing Aviator, the very same game that had wrecked so many lives. And in those records, the games ended with big wins. Not too big, not too flashy, just the kind of wins Aviator was famous for. Each victory had a timestamp. Each looked natural, as though a real player had clicked at the right second and cashed out before the plane crashed. On paper, it was flawless. To Batika's system, these weren't suspicious credits, they were just lucky gamblers cashing in. First, he rewarded himself. One account, his main one, held 1.2 million shillings. The rest, spread across 11 separate accounts. Some held 400,000, others 800,000. None were round figures. None screamed fraud. Total siphoned 11.4 million. But each account looked like a plausible win. Each ledger line told a convincing lie. Now came the most dangerous move, turning numbers into real money. M-Pesa would never work. The daily limits were too low, and regulators watched mobile money like hawks. One suspicious payout and the trail would lead straight back to him. So Seth triggered another command, bank withdrawals. As an admin, the system trusted his orders. The money flowed directly into bank accounts, linked to each betting profile. From there, Seth quietly funneled the money back together. One account, one fortune. For 4 days, Seth Mwabe lived as a man who had beaten the system. A student once expelled from Meru University now held millions stolen in plain sight, but Batika was watching. On August 23rd, 2025, their IT team noticed something. A pattern, a trace, a whisper in the code that didn't add up, and that whisper began to unravel everything. What exactly did Batika's team detect? How did investigators trace the trail all the way to Tetu City, Kiambu County? What happened the night Seth was arrested? And how does all of this tie back to his strange obsession with Edward Nigma, the Riddler? The answers are coming. This was Borrowed Crime, Part 1. If you don't want to miss Part 2, do 3 simple things. Like this video. Share it with your friends and family. Subscribe to Lifelines TV and click the notification bell, so that when we release Borrowed Crime Part 2, YouTube will automatically notify you. Until then, may God Almighty bless you all. From me, it's goodbye.